I suppose I should do a story. I should do a story. How are we doing on time? Oh, we're doing good on time. Well, let's see. What haven't you heard in a while? You haven't heard the one about the cat? Oh, I'm so glad. That's my favorite. Now, living in the bog are a number of very interesting bog creatures, like the boggle over there. Boggle, he is an interesting character because he normally is that yellow mist you see floating above a bog, and he turns into whatever you're thinking of. And dragons are also pretty interesting. We found that dragon in the bog, or at least Roscoe did, and brought it home, and now we have to feed it, which is really very, very sad because they eat a whole lot of food every day. They eat tacos, nice hot ones, so they can breathe fire. And it's so expensive that Roscoe now has to sell zombie insurance. Yeah, we have the zombie insurance policy that gives you a lifetime pass against zombie apocalypses, and it also protects you from monsters under the bed and in the closet, which is a very good thing. And we're also selling Grue Crew buttons because we're all members of the Grue Crew now. somebody came on my Facebook page and said, "Oh, we need a Grue Crew." I said, "Oh, I like that one too." But anyway, so in the bog also lives Baba Baga, witch. Now some witches are very nice, but Baba Baga is not one of them. Baba Baga never washes her hair, and she has spiders living in her hair. Baba Baga never washes her clothes, and she's got centipedes on her clothes. Baba Baga never brushes her teeth, and they're brown and stinky as the bog itself. Baba Baga has an eye right in the middle of her hair. She can take it out and leave it places to keep an eye on people. Baba Baga does not like anybody, and nobody likes her. So every time anybody moves into the bog, she has to move. She has to find a new place to live. She has to pack up all of her stuff. She has to cart it over to the new place. She has to unpack it, and just when she's got everything all perfect and looking wonderful, somebody moves into the bog near her, and she's got to do the whole thing all over again. Well, after she'd done this about 427 times, she got tired of it. So she decided to do what her cousin Baba Yaga did. Now, Baba Yaga lives in Russia, in the West. And she has a chicken that she put a spell on, and it grew very, very large, and the chicken part she turned into a house, and on great big tall chicken legs, and anytime she wants to move anywhere, all she has to do is say, "Izbushka, come!" And Izbushka follows her along to wherever she wants to be. Well, Baba Baga thought that was a wonderful idea. The chickens don't work very well in a swamp, they sink. So she thought, since frog legs taste like chicken, she would put a spell on a frog. So she got herself a nice big frog and she put a spell on it, and the frog began to grow as tall as a tree. And the frog looked down and thought that was very, very interesting. But then she pointed at him, she said a magic word, and the frog began to grow bigger and bigger and bigger. He puffed up like a great big balloon, and he thought he was going to pop, but he didn't. And when he finished growing, he was as big as this whole stage area here. And then she pointed right at his middle and said another magic word, a hole. Well, the frog looked down, it didn't hurt a bit. And saw he was as hollow inside as a Halloween pumpkin. When the hole was as big as Baba Baga, she motioned to the frog to kneel down, and he did. And she climbed right into the hole inside the frog. She looked around, she said, "Oh, this is like a very nice house indeed." And she stamped and stamped and stamped to make the floor nice and flat. She pointed her finger to either side to open up holes for windows, and one in the back too. And then she blew sand at all three, and they turned into glass. There was ruby red glass on this side, and emerald green on that side, and topaz yellow on that side. And then she blew some sawdust out of her pocket at the hole in the front, and it turned into a beautiful blue door with a doorknob right in the middle. Then she said, "Oh, this is going to make a wonderful home," and she moved in all of her stuff. She moved in her bed, and her bureau, and her table, and her chairs, and her stove, and her bathtub, and everything that she needed. She used the bathtub for making spider stew, because she never took a bath. I was going to say gin, but it's supposed to be a children's show. So anyway, after she got it all set, she looked around and she said, "I'm never going to have to move again. Anytime I want to go someplace, I just tell the frog to bring my house with me. I'm going to live happily ever after." And she set off cannon. She was so happy. And she would have lived happily ever after, too, if it hadn't been for... All right, ladies and gentlemen, you are a cat. And somebody says to you, what's your name? What are you going to say?
Meow.
Yes, cats have a very limited vocabulary. So poor Meow, because he had never been named anything else, was lost in the woods, and he was so hungry. He was starving. But all of a sudden he smelled something wonderful. He smelled something delicious. He smelled chicken. And not just a little chicken, he smelled a lot of chicken. Well, he started following that delicious smell with his nose up in the air and his tail up straight behind him. And he ran past maple trees, and oak trees, and willow trees, and green trees. Green trees. Meow stepped back and looked up, and those weren't trees at all. They were frog legs. Well, he'd always heard that frog legs taste just like chicken, so that must have been what he was smelling. He opened his mouth as wide as he could, and he leaped up in the air, and he jumped right onto those frog legs. Now, you're a pair of frog legs standing around minding your own business, and some silly cat comes along and chomps on you. What are you going to do? Jump. And what else? Kick. And hop. And run around in circles. Okay, what's happening to the house on top of the frog legs? It's bouncing all around. The windows on that side opened up, and all Baba Bog's candlesticks fell out. The window on that side opened up, and all of her magic spell books fell out. The window in the back opened up, and her very best hat fell out. And the front door opened up, and out fell Baba Baga, still in her bed, right on her head. Boom. She was not a happy witch. She went over and she grabbed that cat. She says, "Cat, why are you biting my frog legs?" And the cat said, she says, "Cat, I asked you a question. Why are you doing this to me?" And the cat said, she says, "Cat, if you won't talk to me, it must be because you don't like me." "Well, I don't like you either." And she took that cat and she munched it up in a ball and she stuffed it into her wishing pot and she said, "I wish you to be gone." Poof! And she thought she was rid of that cat. The cats are magic too. He just wished himself right back out of that wishing pot, and the cat came back the very next day. Hungrier than ever, with his mouth wide open, he took a running leap toward those frog legs again, and he chopped right back onto them again. And what did those frog legs do? Yep. And what happened to the house up on top? And the window on that side opened up, and all Baba Baga's teacups fell out. The window on that side opened up, and all of her silver spoons fell out. The window in the back opened up, her very best teapot fell out. The front door opened up, and out fell Baba Baga, still in her bed, right on her head. Boom. Now she was really getting mad. She grabbed that cat again. She says, "Cat, why are you doing this to me?" And the cat said, she says, "Cat, I asked you a question. I want an answer. Why are you biting my frog legs?" And the cat said, she says, "Cat, if you won't talk to me, it must be because you don't like me." "Well, I don't like you either." She got on her broomstick with the cat, and she flew to the other side of the bog. And then she got out, and she put the cat down. She said, "Just to make sure you don't come back and bother me anymore, I'm going to keep my eye on you." And she took her magic eye out of her forehead, and she put it down next to the cat. She climbed back on her broomstick, and she flew back home to her house on frog legs. Now I've been telling you how hungry this poor kitty cat was. What do you suppose he did next? He ate the eye. And no, it didn't taste like chicken. In fact, it was so foul, he just swallowed it real quick. And suddenly, the only thing that Baba Baga the witch could see was the inside of a cat's stomach. And it was not a pretty sight. So she would just hope that the cat would come back. And sure enough, the cat came back the very next day. And he opened his mouth, and he ran towards those frog legs again, ready to chomp onto them. And Baba Baga grabbed the cat. She says, "Cat, don't you dare do that again." She says, "Cat, why are you biting my frog legs?" And the cat said, she says, "Cat, can't you say anything else like but meow?" And the cat said, "Wait a minute, you're a cat. You can't say anything else but meow, can you?" And the cat said, so Baba Baga did a spell on herself so she could speak cat. And then she said, "Meow," which means, "Why are you biting my frog legs?" And the cat said, which means, because I'm hungry, you silly witch. Baba Vaga said, meow, which means, if I feed you, will you stop biting the frog legs? And the cat said, which means, so Baba Vaga took her wishing pot and wished it full of fried chicken, and the cat ate every single bite. And then Baba Vaga said, meow, which means, I just made a terrible mistake. I fed a stray cat. I am never getting rid of you now, am I? And the cat said, no. So Baba Vaga and the cat lived happily ever after, or at least as happy as you can be with a witch that never washes. And she never tried to get rid of the cat again, because cats come back the very next day. Huzzah! Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.